Light set. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your book. There was a lot of great stories. One that captivated me was you being on the tank under fire. Can you share one story that sticks out to you the most?
Well, there's a lot of great stories. What's interesting too is when you're writing, it's 10 months really is I you can write a whole life story, but this one is a 10-month snapshot of what was happening. And when I started conducting interviews, probably one of the most interesting ones, and I won't tell the whole story, but was with Sergeant Espinoza when he got shot by a sniper in central Ramadi, and that's where I had to go down, rescue the squad, and pull them out under intense enemy fire. And I was on a tank trying to direct fires. But Sergeant Espinoza had been shot, and those guys, once they're shot and living or dead, they just vanish from the battlefield. And you have this blind faith in the system that they're going to be handled with care and taken to a medical facility or back to their families if they're killed, and you continue to fight. But Sergeant Espinoza, when I finally got a hold of him, and for the record, he was never really a chatty Cathy. Okay, Sergeant Espinoza was all business. The Marines feared him because he had been in Ramadi before. He'd risen to the rank of sergeant. He's a squad leader. But not a real chatty Cathy, just, yes, sir, got it, sir, and move on. So when I finally got him on the phone and told him what I was doing, that I was writing a story, and I finally shut up and listened and took my own advice, I sat at the keyboard probably for 3 hours. And this chapter grew and grew and grew and grew. And the stories were like, I had no idea that any of this happened because I'm still fighting. I'm still responsible for 250 other independent souls on the battlefield, and Jonathan Espinoza, I don't know where he's at. But all the stories he starts telling me, it is something that you think only happens in a movie, but it happened in real life. And I'm sure it wasn't the only story that was like that in Iraq or Afghanistan. But those stories that pop up when you finally listen and you go behind the scenes, it was fascinating even for me. And I was like, this was our deployment. This was our fight at that point in time.
That's awesome.